Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever in the world you are. And thank you so much. We host the Sarveda Jnana series every 2 weeks or every few weeks. And we invite speakers from different areas like philosophy, yoga, music. And we're very, very honored today to have Ayesha Mohan. And she's a very, very special guest. She's a versatile artist and is multi-talented, and I'm very honored to introduce her. So Aisha has been involved in drama, debate. She plays an instrument, she sings. She's also been an actress, and she's quite free-spirited because after her stint in Bollywood and Hollywood, she decided to go on a soul-searching journey that actually led her into spirituality and yoga. And she eventually followed her heart's calling, and she now lives in Ladakh and is working towards building her retreat center in Ladakh. So thank you so much, Aisha, for joining us today at the Gyana series.
Thank you, Priya. I'm very honored to be here. This is
Yes.
something I love doing, and it's a pleasure to be sharing something that is so close to my heart with everyone today.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so those of you who are new to Sarveda, just a little bit about Sarveda, right? So at Sarveda, we believe in living a conscious, compassionate, and a healthy life inspired by the ancient wisdom of yoga, Ayurveda, meditation, and music. And our endeavor is to light up our lives with the sacred science of well-being. So when we strive to create valuable resources and promote products that embody this lifestyle of being authentic, sustainable, and earth friendly. So, just a tiny little bit for those of you who are new. So, with that, Aisha, can you tell us a little bit about your journey from, being in the Bollywood and Hollywood industry into spirituality and yoga?
So it was all very wonderful. It was nice
Hmm.
to experience, have a taste of what um, material success can mean. But there was no peace in my heart. It all started with a feeling. And if we are lucky enough to follow that feeling, it
Hmm.
always takes you towards your real calling.
That's true.
If we don't ignore it, and if we get stuck in the bondage of the material world, that's very unfortunate. So I had, grace of the God uh, to actually step out. Uh, it was challenging, but to step out and actually explore what my heart truly wanted to go towards.
It's lovely. And now in Ladakh, you do something called spiritual tourism, right? Can you tell me a little more about what that is?
So one of the things we do here is
Hmm.
spiritual trips. We run a
Hmm.
travel company and we do some very offbeat trips here, cultural. Uh,
Hmm.
in the spiritual trips, what we do is we take the groups to the very ancient caves where many great masters meditated, like Guru Padma Sambhav cave, and
Hmm. Oh,
guided
wow.
meditation sessions there. And then we meet these sacred shamans, Tibetan shamans of Ladakh,
Hmm.
and Ompos are the Ladakhi Tibetan astrologers or Amchis, the local herbal doctors here. So
Hmm.
we introduce people to this very beautiful holistic world that this culture offers.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's really nice. So,
We are
and you're
also
also building.
yeah, we are building a healing retreat here.
Cái giờ anh xéo đó,
Yeah,
xong thì
that's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're building a healing retreat here where we will welcome from people from all over the world
Hmm.
to experience a lot of therapies. We will have speakers and healers from all over the world to come and participate. And it will be a service that I would really like to offer to the world. You know,
Oh, that's lovely.
yeah,
That's nice. So then also yoga and philosophy at the center as well.
of course, yeah, yeah. That'll be one of the main things we'll do. Apart from that, we'll do a lot more. There's a therapy called Chod therapy, the drum beat,
Hmm.
which a lot of
Hmm.
monks come and do. Very powerful therapy. So we'll introduce that. So things we haven't even heard of, you know. The shamans here are very different from the shamans that you've heard of. They actually
Hmm.
invite deities into their body and their healing, the way of healing, their approach to healing is very fierce, very powerful, and people actually have felt an effect. So introduce this to the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yoga, meditation, apart from this, much more.
Yeah, because it's so close to like the mountains as well. So I know that the culture there is very, very different and very sacred as well. So yeah, like I've been wanting to go to Tibet and Ladakh and all of those areas as well. So hopefully someday I come to your retreat center as well.
You're most welcome. And apart from just being very spiritual, it's also
Mhm.
one of the most evolved cultures I've ever experienced.
Really?
There's a lot of stillness and peace
Yeah.
naturally in people, at least in the older generation of people here, you know.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah, you can actually feel it sometimes in just in someone's presence, you can just feel that, right? It's just more than enough. You don't even need to say any words. So very interesting. And coming to that, our previous gurus and rishis also used to just transmit knowledge to us like that, right? Just with their energy and just in silence. So there was actually no need for even words. So that's why all of our ancient scriptures as well, you won't see them being very lengthy. They're just sutras. And today we're actually going to be talking about Patanjali Yoga Sutras. So coming to that, can you tell us a little bit about the core message of the Patanjali Yoga Sutras?
the core message of Maharishi Patanjali is self realization, God realization, but through the stilling of the mind, through the path of meditation. So, Patanjali Yoga Sutra is actually one of the oldest existing texts on the study of meditation.
Wow.
Yeah, everything is derived from here. But this is in humanity, this is what we know as the oldest text on meditation. And it is one of the ways of self realization. So, in Indian yoga, there are actually many paths, four
Hmm.
major paths. There's
Yeah.
bhakti path, which is the path of devotion, which is the
Hmm.
path of surrender. So in Brahma Sutra, in Bhakti Sutra of Narad, he calls this path to be the sweetest path,
Yes.
easiest path to self-realization, because all you have to do is surrender,
Just,
which is
yeah. And
actually the most difficult thing to do. But it's very simple. One step, just surrender to the divine. है ना? I am nothing. I am not the doer. Everything is now you. So the
right.
moment you do this, automatically all the other paths come to you. One of the very beautiful sadhus, once upon a time I met him, and he said that
Hmm.
the entire spiritual journey is from here to here,
Yes.
you know.
Right.
So Bhakti Yoga actually starts from here, you know.
Right.
Jnana Marg is the path of knowledge, in which it's the path of understanding.
Questioning.
Understanding, inquiry, questioning. The
Yes.
problem is in this marg that sometimes we mistake understanding for realization. Only intellectual understanding is not enough.
True, true, true.
So,
Experiential.
yes. So don't misunderstand understanding for realization and realization for liberation.
Right.
Only because you understand that okay, I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, I am Brahman. That's understanding you have. But unless you have that experience, you cannot actually progress in this path. You will still be affected by the material world. So it's that is the scary part in Jnana Marg, the path of knowledge. There is Karam Yoga, which is the path of selfless service. It takes you beyond your sense of this little I. You can serve the world without any expectations. And finally, there's this Raj Yoga that Maharishi Patanjali has given us. This is how you experience, samadhi. So the
Hmm.
moment you have not just a still mind, the moment you have a clean, clear mind, crystal clear mind along with a still mind, you can naturally abide in your true nature. You
That's
can
right.
naturally be in a state of self realization, which is the source of all peace, all love, all happiness that we are all seeking. So, this is the core message of the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, I would say.
That's beautiful. So that actually could even apply to somebody who's not very interested into spirituality or into religion, right?
Absolutely. In any aspect of life, this can help you, not just for people on the path of spiritual path.
Hmm.
uh, this reminds me of a very interesting story,
Hmm.
very short interesting zen story.
Yeah.
Once upon a time there was a zen master who had a number of disciples, and he would teach the power of concentration by the study of archery. So one of his students was very good at it. He was so skilled that he could shoot an arrow and then shoot another arrow, splitting the first arrow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he actually boasted about his skill to everyone. He knew he was the best. So when the master realized this, what he did was he thought this student needs to be taught a valuable lesson. So he, along with all his disciples, they went on a trek and they reached this ravine,
Hmm.
which was very narrow yet very, very steep. And there was this pine tree that had fallen, connecting to the other side. So this
Hmm.
master very gracefully walked to the middle of the pine tree and lifted his bow and shot this arrow towards a very distant pine tree, and then shot another arrow, splitting this first arrow. And then he walked aside, and now he invited his the the you know best disciple to come and
Hmm.
demonstrate the same skill. And now this guy was really stricken with fear. He only to show his fellow disciples that he is good enough, he mustered all his courage and then he walked towards the center of the pine tree. But his the moment he looked down, he got so scared that he just gave up and he just cried out, saying, "Master, please save me. I can't do this." The master very kindly took him to the other side and said, "My son, skill alone is not enough. The mind must be calm. If the
Right.
platform of what your skill is based on, if that platform is restless and not stable, then no matter what, the skill won't take you very far. So whether you are an artist or any profession, if you want to ace in that profession, you
Hmm.
need to have first a very stable and solid foundation upon which you build up that skill. And this is what Patanjali Yoga Sutra gives us. It gives us this solid sense of focus in life, stable foundation. So yeah,
That's
absolutely, anyone can benefit out of it.
And Aisha, are there any prerequisites before someone starts to study any of these scriptures, especially the Patanjali Yoga Sutra?
Sincerity, definitely. Discipline and sincerity. It can't be half-hearted.
True.
Yeah. For anything, right? You want to learn any discipline in life, you need to
You
go
have
all
to
in.
be committed, yeah, all in.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, with that, do you want to explain some of the sutras to us?
Yes. Actually, is
Hmm.
it okay if we start with a short prayer to
Yes, of course.
Patanjali?
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to share the screen.
Hmm.
Can everyone see the screen? Yeah.
Yes, yes, it's all good.
Yeah.
Right, so this is a sutra for, this is a mantra for Maharishi Patanjali.
योग्यानाच्युत
येन चित्तस्य पदामवाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वेदकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवनं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि. So let us bow before the noblest of sages, Patanjali, who gave us yoga for the serenity and sanctity of the mind, grammar for clarity and purity of speech, and medicine for the perfection of health. The first sutra of Maharishi Patanjali Sutra is Atha Yoga Anushasanam, which means now let's begin the discipline of yoga. It's very interesting that the The first word in many of the important sutras like Bhakti Sutras, Brahma Sutras actually starts with this word atha, now,
Mhm.
and it means hence. And it's supposed to be a very auspicious word. And that is why many sutras actually start with this word. But when I read it for the first time, I perceived it very interestingly. I thought it came to me at the right time when I had realized that I'm not going to find happiness in the material world. When you realize that the answer lies within yourself, that is when you can actually start the discipline. So you asked me what is needed. You needed to first of all exhaust all your ways, shut all the other doors, know for sure you're not going to find it outside. Whatever peace, happiness you're going to find in the external world will always be temporary. It will always be superficial. There will be nothing permanent in that. So now if you have realized that, now we can start the study of yoga. um, you know in Sankhya philosophies, uh, they talk about three kinds of suffering.
Mhm.
The first is Adi Devik, the second is Adi Bhautik, and then Adhyatmik. Adi Devik suffering is the suffering that is, uh, which is act of God, which you have no control over. It earthquakes and it started raining, so I can't go out. All of that is Adi Devik. Adi Bhautik is the suffering that is caused by your surroundings. You have some control over it, not really. Your boss can be toxic, your neighbors, your family, your partner, your children, whatever it is. Mosquitoes biting you is Adi Bhautik. So all this suffering that you have semi control over is Adi Bhautik. Then there is Adhyatmic suffering, which is the suffering that is caused, I cause myself that suffering. So 99% of the suffering of human life is actually self-created and it's psychological. I
Yes.
judge myself too much. I think too much. I don't give myself, my mind any pause. Um,
Criticize too much.
Too much
Every-
self-doubt. You know, there is so much, we are just not kind. We can be kind to the world, but there's somehow this kindness is towards.
Exactly. The ahimsa towards us
Yeah.
needs to be there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we can only take care of this one suffering, adhyatmic suffering, then no other suffering can actually have any effect on us whatsoever. Nothing can touch us. So now that you have realized that my suffering is self created,
Mhm.
now I can start the discipline of yoga. You know,
And
so
also now that you're ready after going out everywhere, here and there, seeking happiness and joy everywhere else, now that you're here, ready to start is when,
yes,
the knowledge will come.
so very important. Only then you can actually do it with all your heart. Otherwise it's nothing. It's just intellectual entertainment. The second sutra is one of the most important sutras, one of the most celebrated sutras, because here Maharishi is actually telling us what does yoga mean. Yoga chitta vritti nirod.
Mhm.
Yoga, chitta is the mind, then all the mind stuff. Vritti is the functions of the mind, the modifications, the fluctuations of the minds are of the mind is called vritti. Nirod means cessation. So when the all the fluctuations in the mind are still, that's yoga. And what that does, we'll see in the other sutra, the next sutra. So first, let's understand this sutra a little better.
Mhm.
Chit includes everything. Chit is your buddhi, manas, ahankar. Buddhi is your intellect. Manas is all your subconscious thoughts, your thinking, your feeling, your emotions. All of that comes under, even your memory in some schools of thought is under manas. And the one who takes the ownership of all of this is your ahankar. Actually, this
Right.
ahankar does nothing else but takes the ownership. You know, let's say, you experience anger, jealousy, joy, pleasure, whatever you are experiencing, these sensations, they come and then they go. है ना? We can watch them, witness them arise and dissipate. But then the moment ahamkar sees that, oh, this is the feeling that is happening, this is my anger, I am angry, I am going through this, it integrates all of this mind stuff into one eye, and this is actually the beginning of suffering. If we can let go of this ahankar and start watching these sensations in the body just as it is, fear arises. Inquire into it. What is fear? What is it that I call fear? Where am I feeling it? Is it here? Deeply inquire into these sensations. Then we can actually get to the bottom of it because we haven't owned them. है ना? So chit is the mind stuff. Vritti are the functions of the mind. Now, let's say there is a pond, there is a lake, and there is a stone constantly being thrown in that lake, and the ripples that it creates are the vrittis. So the entire mind, with the depth of the mind, is the entire lake, but these ripples on top of the lake are the vrittis. And until and unless the lake is crystal clear and the vrittis are still, we will not be able to see at the bottom of the lake.
It's true.
Yeah. So vrittis are where the thoughts begin. People who are focused in positive vrittis, they have a positive quality of life. And if we are not mindful enough and we are too invested in the negatives of our life, then we are constantly thinking of then we are living a low quality life. Repeated vrittis actually cause some sanskars, which are the hard impressions in the human mind. So
yeah, the karmic seeds.
yes. So vrittis are if we invest in positive vrittis, we have a positive life. The quality of our life depends on the quality of our experience, and the quality of our experience depends on the focus that we have in life. Right. But Maharishi Patanjali is taking us a step beyond all of this. He's saying, okay, positive, negative, theek hai. Magar, what happens when there is no vritti? When you are beyond this positive, negative, when there is everything is still, then what happens? That's when we can actually abide in our true self, which is the source of peace that we are looking for. So the purpose of yoga is to still the vrittis in the mind. Maharishi Patanjali has actually given us these vrittis and all. If you read the Patanjali Sūtras, he has given a sequence of vrittis. He has actually given us, okay, there are 5 kinds of modifications that the mind is possible of. So it's a very scientific approach to mind. Insane, huh? That this scripture was written over 2000 years ago. And it can actually really be applied on the mind today so beautifully, so aptly, that which makes me sometimes wonder that we think that the human mind is changing or evolving. I don't think so. I think situations keep changing, but the mind is still the same.
Yeah, the same thought, right? Have we? Yeah.
No, I don't think we have got anywhere.
Still evolving and a long way to go.
I think we are evolving. That is why we have such scriptures. But the troubles of the mind are still the same. The subjects, the stories have been ever changing. The script is changing, but the essence is still the same. And thank God for that, because then this knowledge can be applied. The third sutra is Tada Drishtu Swarupe Vashtanam, which means that once the mind is still, then the seer can abide in its true nature. So this is the purpose of yoga. Very beautifully explained. Tadha drishtu swarupe avashthanam. Yeah. So what is true self? Let's talk about that for a moment. What is it that I call my, what is it that we call the witness consciousness? What does it actually mean to abide in the true self? What is this I that I call the true self? So, if you are on the path, and I feel like you are very wise and you know what we are talking about. But if you randomly walk on the street and you ask people, who are you? The answer will be, I am so and so.
Yeah,
No, I am Aisha. And then you say, but Aisha is just these letters written on you can change this if you want to. How can this be who you are? Then I'll say, of course, this is not me. I am the daughter of so and so. I went to this college, I did this. And then I'll say, but these are the events that happen. This is the story that happened to who you think you are. Right?
that's right.
Who is it that you really think you are? Apart, if I take away all the past from you right now, there is no story left, memory erased, no anticipation of the future. So, in this moment, what is it that you consider yourself? One of the most important questions, entire Advait Vedanta is based on it. The teachings of Ramana Maharishi, he says this is enough. This one question is enough. You don't need to read any more scriptures. Just sit with this question and any.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
no, you can just sit forever with the question and just allow for the answers to come up. It's
Yeah.
very interesting.
And anything that you can observe cannot be you. I can observe my phone. This is not me. I can observe the body. In fact, every time I refer to my body, I'm saying these are my hands, my eyes, my body, my thoughts, my feelings, something I own. So neti neti, not this, not this. I am not this, I'm not this. And then you come upon this beautiful vastness, the spaciousness with which has no story. And many masters actually give a very beautiful example of a screen.
Mhm.
So a television screen, and you can watch multiple movies on it. You can watch the same movie again and again. You can feel the movie so deeply. You can cry with it. You
Yes,
can laugh with it. But this, your essence is the screen.
right.
So the movie cannot happen without the screen. But you can turn off the movie and the screen will still remain there. And no matter what is happening in the movie, who's dying, who is happy, who is not, it doesn't affect the screen. So that is our consciousness. Well, no matter what is happening in the story called Aisha, it is not affecting my true sense, who I really am. It's not affecting that. So the moment I'm stabilized and identified in that higher self, which is the true self, which is the screen, I am not affected by the story. I can enjoy the story, I can experience the story, but now I'm not totally invested in it. That's the beauty.
Right, because you know that it's just you're a spiritual being actually having a human experience. So there, we lost her. Maybe we'll just wait a
Yeah,
couple of
hi, I'm back
moments.
here.
Okay.
In
Yeah,
Ladakh,
no, so Mhm.
yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah,
No problem. Thought as much. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, no, so I was just saying to what you said, right? We're actually spiritual beings having a human experience, and it's all just for our growth and expansion and understanding. So totally agree.
yeah. And isn't it so much more beautiful to live life? There's so much more rus in life when you're not too invested, too involved, too identified. You can actually start enjoying the human experience.
But the point, Aisha, is it's so hard to really practice it, right? We all say that, but then we kind of start getting sucked into the spiral of emotions and whatever's going on. So it's really like for someone who's in it, it's really hard to kind of come out of it and just be the observer and just be the witness, right?
Yeah, yeah. We are, born into forgetfulness. We are talking about it right now. Right after this call, we'll be sucked in the story again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That is why these talks, these satsangs, and these constant reminders, we are walking each other home. We all know this. We all
True.
know the truth nowadays, but just to keep each other constant reminders of going back to the true nature, to going back to our source, it's an everyday practice. And this is also where Maharishi Patanjali is strengthening us.
Mhm.
He's also given us a very systematic. One second. Is my voice clear?
Yes, it's clear. It's
Good.
very clear.
So, this is, he has given us such a beautiful sequence, step by step process of how to get to this, how to stabilize in our true nature. That it actually gives us an experience. And the more we are stabilized in the experience, you know, uh, the more we can remember it throughout its fidelity to truth every moment. Spirituality is not 1 hour of dhyan, you know, in 24 hours. It's not that. It's either your way of life, either it's affecting
True.
every second of your life or none at all.
It's true.
You can't be part-time spiritual. It doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we say, right? Even for yoga, it's got to be not just yoga on the mat, but even off the mat. It's so, like, obvious, like, you can see your own nature, like, just how you practice on the mat, how you treat yourself on the mat, also is an example of how you would actually treat yourself off the mat, right? So it's so important to kind of continue that thing throughout the day.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. Nice.
Yes. So, can you explain to us a little more about the 5 steps that you were talking about?
Oh, the states of mind,
Hmm.
the vrittis.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can very
yeah,
briefly share.
yeah, the types of vrittis, and also how
Uh,
does one get into the whole meditative state?
yeah, okay, perfect. See, vrittis, we can just very briefly. These are the fluctuations, possible fluctuations of the mind is your right knowledge, imagination, misconceptions, misunderstandings come under wrong knowledge. Our imagination, sleep, memory, all of these are considered to be vrittis. Um, the 5 states of mind
Hmm.
are Shipt, Mood, Vikshipt, Ekagraha, Nirudh. So, restless mind is considered to be one of the most lowest kinds of mind, in which the mind is unable to make any decision. It is so scattered. It's in Buddhism, it's called the monkey mind. And we find ourselves in this kind of mind very often whenever we have anxiety, fears, and we are controlled by our fears and anxiety. That's when we experience this. Mood is what a lot of us are going through because of constant watching. If we are giving 3 days of constantly watching and constantly just being a couch potato and eating and giving into our just sensory pleasures, then we are living a very low quality life again. It stupefies the mind. It's called the donkey mind. Vikship is when we have started a new project, we are really into it, or we have decided that every day I am going to meditate, or whenever we want to focus on something, but we are still being drawn by constant, the world is full of these distractions right now, especially our smartphones, which are constantly beeping and giving us notifications. They don't let us focus, you know. Swami Vivekanand once said that the difference between a ordinary man and an extraordinary man lies in the level of concentration. So at first I didn't understand how can concentration make such a big difference. But actually if you have a focused mind, then you know where to focus it on.
Right.
It can actually improve the quality of your life. है ना? So that is why it's better to build on these minds. Ekagraha is focused mind, one pointed mind, and Nirudh is a samadhi mind, which is completely merged with the object of meditation. Or when artist or sports player, when they lose
Right.
their own identities, that's when they become geniuses. When their own existence it doesn't matter. I would really like to bring up something here very interesting. There is this psychologist, very like quite an amazing psychologist. He came up with this concept. He'd been working on the concept of flow
Mm-hmm.
over 3 decades, and his name is Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. And
Mm-hmm.
this concept called flow is a highly focused mental state which enhances productivity. So he says that at any given point of time, at any moment, a human brain has the capacity to absorb 126 bits of attention. That's the capacity of the human mind to of attention. Now, to listen to me speak right now and understand what I'm saying takes you about 60 bits per second. It's the currency of attention that we have. So when our teachers in school said, pay attention, it was literally to, they were asking us to give that currency. If there are multiple people talking to us right now, we won't be able to understand. We'll get irritated because
Yeah.
it's beyond our capacity, right? So it's a very limited capacity that we have, and now it's up to us where we want to invest uh, this 126 bits. Our own existence takes about some of the bits, our own hunger, the fact that I know that I exist takes up some of it. And this last state of mind, which is considered the highest state of mind, the mind of samadhi, it is
Mm-hmm.
when mind is completely, like, all the 126 bits are focused on in one direction. Imagine what that mind can be capable of.
In the moment. Yeah, yeah, in the moment, right? That's what they say, the flow state of mind. And like everyone who, like, if you look at Olympic athletes, etc., they're just 100% in the moment doing what they're doing, just absolutely no other thought.
Yeah,
Just beautiful.
the most alive mind is in that state, you know. So even if we cannot get there, but to have a focused mind, to have a ekagraha mind, can be very beneficial for us in any field, especially in spirituality, but even if you're not spiritual. So now Maharishi Patanjali, after this, has given us the obstacles that can come
Hmm.
in, to find this, and also he discusses what are the 8 steps. I think we have enough time to actually
Yeah,
just
we have time. Yes.
go through Ashtang Yoga, right?
Yeah.
So obstacles we can discuss sometime later, and we have discussed enough of it. Uh, so we can just briefly talk about what are the steps Maharishi Patanjali has given us. In these obstacles, even if we are not going through all of them, I would really like to mention the first.
Yes.
you know so these are the 5 causes of suffering according to Maharishi Patanjali. So amazing, huh, that you will not find a sixth kind of suffering. He knew the mind like no one else. So this is actually the sutra, this is science of mind. So the first cause that he talks about is avidya, ignorance. And why this is the most important out of all is because this is the cause of any other suffering. This is the mother of all causes, that we are ignorant of our unlimited nature. We are too identified with the limited. And in Buddhism, it's very interesting that when Lord Buddha got enlightened, the first word, in New Age spirituality, how everything is about light and happiness. But after Buddha was enlightened, the first word that came out of his mouth was dukkha. The first word. In his 4 noble truths that he gave as a sermon, the first thing he said was, there is suffering in the world, inescapable suffering. Second, this suffering has a cause. Third, causes ignorance, and knowledge, right knowledge, is the way out of this suffering. In Christianity, they say, know thyself. So, no matter what you are holding on to right now, it's actually directing towards the same thing. That ignorance is our cause of suffering, and right knowledge, and not just knowledge, realization is the is going to give you freedom from this. Uh, this is the purpose of human life. What else, है ना? It can't be anything else. So, avidya is the mother of all causes of suffering. Asmita is the ego, ahamkar that we spoke about. Rag and dvesh are desire and aversion, which will always happen together. They are the flip side of the same coin.
Right.
Can't exist independent of each other. If you have a desire for a better life, you will be scared that you won't have it. So better to be
Correct.
desired, better to be surrendered. And abhinivesh is fear of death. Um, if we can always remember that this form is limited and it is going to pass away, imagine lot of melodrama of our life will just drop away by itself, you know.
That's true.
Just the remembrance of our mortality of this limited form is very beautiful. It's to cherish. So we won't spend more time on it. Let's just very quickly go through Ashtang Yoga.
Mhm.
So I mentioned in the beginning that Maharishi Patanjali is saying yoga chitta vritti nirodh. Stilling of the mind is important, but also the lake has to be crystal clear, not just waves free, not just ripple free. It has to be clear
You have to do the
because
work.
you have to do the work, because that is what yam and niyam give us. Yam and niyam are the moral and the social ethics. Why do we need them? Now we can have a focused mind without yam and niyam. We can go into samadhi without being morally right? But it can actually we can use it for destructive purposes. I'm sure Hitler was a very focused man, and what he was lacking was yam niyam, you know. So yam niyam help us to have a sattvic mind, so that we can actually do something good with this state of samadhi. So yam niyam are the do's and don'ts. Yam is the social ethics. Ahimsa in our speech, in our deeds, in our thoughts towards anyone, including ourselves. Very important. We have to be kind to ourselves. We have to have compassion. And that changes everything. If we don't have compassion for ourselves, we cannot have it outside. So, truthfulness to be established in speaking truth, of course, but this has a deeper layer. This is to be established in the truth that we are. You know, to discriminate what is true, what is false within me, these thoughts, anything that is passing, anything that is temporary, is not me. So that witness consciousness that is ever present is the only truth, Satchitanand. To be established in that is Satya. Non stealing, of course, of things, but also of anyone's time. You know, there are
Yeah.
a lot of levels we can actually be stealing from people.
Yeah.
We don't even realize. You know, brahmacharya is moderation, or also to be established in Brahman. Have a discipline in life. Aparigraha is non-possessiveness or non-hoarding. I have 5 shoes, I have 10 shoes, but I don't have anything to wear today.
Yeah.
You are living in a life of poverty. So keep recognizing that you have enough of things and of emotions. 10 years ago, I was hurt by this person and I'm still holding on. So letting go of these hurts also. Letting go of our emotions, like letting go of any clinginess, any grasping in any form is a parigraha. Beautiful, isn't it? Then niyam is your soch, cleanliness of your surroundings and your internal world, not just external but your internal world. Contentment, discipline, self study. Swadhyay is study of the scriptures and also self study, study of yourself. Take yourself as a project. Project Priya. Understand who you are and surrender to the higher power. Surrender to the divinity. I'm actually rushing through it because I think we have a little less time. So I'll just come down to asana is the right posture, right breathing. I want to come and talk about pratyahar because I think this is one of the most important steps that can really make a difference in
Mhm.
how we meditate and how in our life. It is shutting down everything. And in short, basically, I'll just tell you that pratyahar is when you sit for meditation, your mind is going to present you a billion things to think about. Very interesting. It is going to present you all the fears you have always had. Pratyahar is not giving into any of that, withdrawing your senses externally but also internally. And then your mind will say, okay, fine, you don't want to give in to your fears. How about let's talk about spirituality? Let's talk about meditation. You know, no. This is when you have set an intention before sitting for meditation that I will not give in to any words. I am going to rest in what is beyond the words, what is not the product of the thought. This is where I want to rest. This naturally brings you to a state of dharana, which is bringing your attention to the object of meditation over and over again. Your mind is being pulled, you come back, you come back, you come back. When you can maintain a certain amount of dharana, that's dhyan, a flow. When meditation comes in a flow, it's meditation. And when you can maintain dhyan for 2 minutes 24 seconds, you get to samadhi. This is dhyan is the what Mihai Csikszentmihalyi is calling flow.
Flow state, yeah.
Yeah, and then samadhi is your complete merge, and that is why they say always meditate on a consciousness higher than you, because then you lose yourself and become that higher consciousness. You
That's
become the
true.
Krishna, you become Shiv. So always better to meditate on something higher.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and rushed.
Yeah, we 1 hour is just not enough for all of this. It's barely just like
So
putting
even
one.
100 hours are not enough.
Yeah.
Who knows? Even a moment is enough. Even one single line is enough.
Yeah, can be.
Yeah.
That was lovely. A lot to take in and absorb as well. Okay. Should we open it up to our audience for some questions?
Yeah,
And then
please.
maybe we end with the meditation and later.
Yes.
Do we have any questions from our audience? Come on, who's the brave one?
Um, Thanks, Aisha. The Can you tell a little bit about the other parts of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras as well, the other padas, little bit, especially where he um, mentions about different abilities that people can possess.
Siddhi.
Um, yes, what are the different chapters and what do they really talk about and all of that?
Yeah, I can. I think it's a very in-depth subject. There are in total 196 sutras and 4 padas. And to be honest with you, I am not very scholarly. I am not, I haven't gotten in depth. I have only taken bits that have helped me in my spiritual life, that has affected me more. And I am not very drawn to siddhis. This is my personal take. I'm not drawn to siddhis at all, uh, because siddhis are also a state of mind, Arjun. And what we are eventually trying to achieve is to go beyond any state of mind. So siddhis can actually be an obstacle on the path. So I am not very well versed on it. I apologize. uh,
But correct. There are other padas as well, no? Apart from the the Siddhi pada.
Sadhana Pad, Kevalya Pad, yeah. But I'm not very well versed
On those ones.
on those.
Okay.
Yeah, I have very limited knowledge, but what I do know, I practice that. I put that
Okay.
into experience. So for me, yoga is not an intellectual or professional, or it's not even my passion, Arjun. It's a way of life. It's every second I have to breathe this and be truthful to the path. So, intellectual understanding, I don't have much. I try to only live by the experience of it.
Nice. Nice. Thank you so much.
I also apologize for not being
Oh,
able
no,
to answer your question.
No,
not
that
at
makes
all,
so much
Aisha.
sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Not at all. Like you said, we're all walking each other home and we're all like on the journey of learning more and understanding more and experiencing more, evolving. So,
What
good.
Patanjali has really helped me with, although, is now there are different sections that have, okay, so I can only talk about what has really touched my heart. And I think I've let go of many other things. So he talks about chit vikshepas, which are these 9 kinds of obstacles that can come on the journey. And I used to, when I was studying all of this, it I started automatically I started becoming the witness consciousness because I started noticing these obstacles in my head, and it helped. You know how when you're cleaning your cupboard and it's all really messy, and you can put trousers in like one shelf, you can put t-shirts. That is what Patanjali helped me to do in my mind. I could observe, oh, this is what Patanjali was talking about. This is how I can rearrange it. It makes your mind much cleaner and more organized. So I have only taken bits of it so far, and I want to do more. I really want to go much deeper into this study and see how it can really, bring out more and connect me with more with my source. But so far, this is what I know. Hmm.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Um, I wanted to know something. I in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, it was mentioned that there's a realm which connects the living world to the subconscious mind. Is there? Do you know anything about that realm?
We can talk about it. So this is Yanis. He is a 10-year-old kid, and he's the brightest little child I have ever come across. So hi Yanis, I'm so happy you could join.
You.
I've had very deep um, Vedantic talks with this boy, and he has absorbed all of it. We have the most
Wow.
beautiful conversations on meditations, and it's been a lot of fun to share this journey with him. So, Yanis, to be honest with you, can you repeat that question again? If there are realms that connect your conscious to your subconscious mind, and if I can talk about that realm, is it so? Yeah.
Uh, yes, yes. Actually, I have Yoga Sutras at my home in the form of a book,
Mm-hmm.
and I have read a few pages, and there was this one realm which they say like there's a circle of life where you die and then take rebirth, and that is where that realm is located. I think that's what it said.
I have no idea about it though.
Oh,
Yeah, and I would say, it's best to not even focus on that.
really?
Yeah. These questions of what lies after death or what we were before our birth, these are very fascinating, but I think it's best to stick to, see, all of this can be concepts. Yanis. Nobody can, even the greatest of masters, if you hear it out, it can only be conceptual. It cannot, you cannot be sure about it. What is it that you can be sure of in this moment? What is it? Everything that you are watching, even this webinar that you are watching, can be a figment of your imagination. It's an illusion, it's a dream, right? What is it in this moment that is not a dream? If I
Uh,
tell you, Janice, that you don't exist, if I tell you I don't exist, you can say, yeah, possible. You can be a dream I'm watching right now. But if I say you don't exist, you will not be able to fathom that. You,
yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes.
You cannot understand the absence of your existence. So when we say Satchitanand, this is the only truth there is. And if we just abide in this truth, whether without any mental concepts, I think it can take you to, you can experience all the realms then.
Okay, that's actually an answer to many of the undiscovered concepts, I think, which you just answered.
And that's beautiful. Thank you, Yanis.
Thank you.
Wow. That's amazing, Yanis. I wish to speak to you more and see you someday as well.
Um,
Okay.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions from anyone?
We should invite Eunice next time.
Yes, yes.
He is so much fun to be around. I
Yeah,
have no I don't understand where he gets this brilliant mind from. Beautiful.
it's
You know,
beautiful.
sometimes I get a call from him in the afternoon and there is nobody at home and he's sitting alone and he has laptop. He can be watching these shows or whatever, but he is sitting alone and he keeps asking me that I was meditating and I went into the state where there was nothingness and I just experienced this emptiness. What is this? Imagine like these questions coming from a 10-year-old. It's
Wow,
incredible.
that's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That actually brings me to another question. I
Yeah.
see that there's a Buddhist painting behind you, but you also mention a lot about aspects of Vedanta.
Mhm.
In in Vedanta, when they talk about the nature of the true self,
Yeah.
it's they describe it as infinite, that it is formless, it is everything, and it is infinite. But in Buddhism, it's completely the opposite.
No sense.
There is no self. There
Yeah.
is shunyata.
Yeah. And it eventually takes you to the same place. So all these concepts, Arjun, whether it's Yoga Sutra, whether it's Vedanta, whether it's Buddhism, all of it is derived from Sankhya.
Hmm.
Sankhya Darshan, which is the oldest, one of the oldest, most ancient schools of thought in Indian philosophy. And Sankhya philosophy has 25 bodies. Two of the
Hmm.
main bodies are Purush and Prakriti.
Hmm.
And Purush is our consciousness, Prakriti is our the everything that we see, experience. Spiritual world, material world doesn't matter. It's all Maya, all Prakriti. So Purush illumines Prakriti, and in return, Prakriti gives Purush an experience of life.
Hmm.
It's very beautiful, and Prakriti is very kind. It says, go enjoy, go live all the pleasures and pains of this world. And when you've had enough, then you can look around and turn inward and connect to your true nature, this consciousness. So Yoga Sutras has borrowed all of this from Sankhya. Even Patanjali Yoga Sutra has borrowed
Hmm.
this from Sankhya. Vedanta has borrowed this from Sankhya. And Buddhism only believes in Prakriti, it doesn't believe in Purush.
Hmm.
It says there's nothing. It doesn't believe in a separate consciousness, but it, no matter which way you're holding it from your nose, it will take you to the same emptiness and vastness. Whenever, even if you're meditating Buddhist way, it is going to lead you to the same vastness, which is in silence, which is in stillness, which has no thinking, no words. Uh,
True.
end of the day, no matter what your which path you're taking, I mean, it's amazing and it's so beautiful that it leads us to the same place. And the journey is from here to here.
Yeah, from the head to heart.
You're coming to the same silence, same peace.
Hi,
True.
Aisha.
Hi.
Yeah, I have some questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
First thing I want to understand, like, in your journey, basically, from your mind to heart, where are you at this point of time? And some of your life experiences, maybe you can share about the consciousness and about this journey.
So it's hard to tell where I am, but now, thankfully, I'm not that affected by the external world, and I'm learning more and more about what is prayer, going deeper into the subtler ways. There are teachings that I have been hearing for past decade, over a decade, and I'm only beginning to understand them now. I have always known them, but they are now slowly, drop by drop, becoming an experience in life. So there is more surrender, there is a less anxiety, and I was a very anxious person. I was a very angry person. One of the most angry people I have seen is myself, and I was really suffering, really suffering. And um, I really think that that anger came as a blessing, because if it wasn't for that anger, I wouldn't have been able to, taste this beauty of the spirit world. And I my one of the most beautiful phases of my life is when I lived as a sannyasi with some sadhus, and I actually got uh, you know uh, one of the sadhu who gave me shelter, and this is spiritual shelter, like a mother. He has always been there like a mother and always loved me. I met my guru, and I lived, you know it's very beautiful to see a being who is on the path, rather than just to see it in the books. When you actually meet a being and live in that being's company, you actually start to understand way more about spirituality than just mere theoretical knowledge. So time spent with my guru was one of the best times of my life, and that's when I find myself to be the most present in that company. So whenever we go and live back, in his ashram, um, it's more peaceful. And then whenever I'm back to the material world, then the material world does affect me, but not as much as it used to. It has less control. So
So
there's
now the
certain meditation.
pain,
Sorry.
now the pain and suffering that you used to have before
Yeah.
is not uh, is not that strong, as in like you don't feel it that strong, the pain and suffering, no?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. And I have been blessed. I have been blessed by a very sacred teacher. He has taught me that the only thing to pray for in life is love for God. How beautiful. That's the only thing you need. If you have that rust in your heart now, that longing for the divine, then nothing material can touch you. It cannot have that pratyahar that we were talking about, withdrawing the senses. You don't need to do all of that. Everything will
That's really
naturally just flow into your life because you have love for the divine. So pray for that love. The only way to
Mhm.
find that love in your heart for the divine is to pray for that love. And then the material world cannot have a control over you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
How do you find the balance, as you say, as you mentioned, like when you are with your guru, you are like most peaceful and happy. But when as soon as you come to the materialistic life, you feel little turbulence. So how do you find balance between these two things?
Uh, there is no balance. It has to be every second. No matter what
Mhm.
state of mind, whether you are, those five states of mind we were talking about, whether you're restless or you're peaceful, these are states of minds and you're beyond this. I am on the Vedantic path uh, uh, for many, many years now. Yoga Sutras are something that are very close to my heart, but my original authentic journey is on the Vedantic path. And that is, even if you're restless, no matter what state of the mind you are in, you keep reminding yourself that you are not that. Then you are identified with your true source. And then these anxieties and all will arise, and let it arise. Experiences, take rest in this also, na. Anger will arise,
Mhm.
anxiety will arise. Aaj, when before the webinar was going to start, I had anxiety of what if the power cuts. But it didn't affect me because I just said to myself, I surrender to the mother. Whatever, however she wants it to happen, it will happen. If so, then it just makes you light. The moment you surrender everything to the divine and you are not the doer, then how does it matter?
Yeah,
All these
actually, it's
emotions will come
beautiful.
and dissipate.
So you are only the observer. You're seeing the things
Yeah, and
which
this is every
right
second.
now,
Every
right
second.
now,
Sorry.
right now, the person who is speaking about the Veda, about the Yoga Sutra is not actually Ayesha. Ayesha is only watching it happening right now. This is the whole idea, right? Like
Yes,
being an observer of anything that we are doing at any point of time.
yes. And let all the sensations arise. The idea is not to repress anything. Any emotion that is arising within you, whether it's any negative emotion, do not try to suppress it, but don't react to it. So, no reaction and no suppression. Let it arise and offer it to the divine. Anger arises, let it arise. Feel it. Unless you feel it, you won't exhaust it. There's a very beautiful example I read in a book very recently, that let's say at the age of 30 someone comes to know that that person is adopted, so that person will really get hurt, right? Or it will really have an impact on that person that I'm adopted, my family abandoned me. And then the mind will start telling you that, but look how beautiful my present parents are, they took me in, they took care of me. This is all mental manipulation in order not to feel a sensation in your body. Even the positive gyan you're giving to yourself is a mental manipulation. If you can let go of these mental words and stop manipulating yourself in any way possible and stick to the sensation no matter what it is in your body, you are hurt and you are hurt. Experience that hurt fully, because unless you experience it fully, it won't get exhausted. Right now, you will give yourself positive gyan, it will get suppressed, it will come back again. The Rig Veda, mein, I think the first line is that I offer everything to the fire. Whatever arises, I am going to offer it to the divine. This is real yagya bolte hain na. Your body is that field, yagya, where you are offering swaha. You're offering everything to the divine. वो आरती में बोलते नहीं है, तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लागे मेरा. Exhaust all the emotions, feel them completely, but don't react. So no suppression, no reaction. That's the formula.
Thank you. So that's beautiful. Yeah.
Um, Aisha, this arises me with a new question.
Yes, yes, Yanis.
Um, who is the mother and how do you surrender to her?
When the child is playing, uh, oh, there's a very beautiful example, even better. This is an example given by Sri Ramakrishna Paramhans,
Okay.
that the mother takes the child to a mela,
Hmm.
and the child is holding on to the sari of the mother and saying, Mom, I want that balloon, I want that ice cream, I want that toy, I want to go on that ride. And he wants everything. He's so interested in the world of the mela that he wants everything. And suddenly the mother, wo palut, the he lets go of the palu, and the mother gets lost, or rather the child is lost. And now he's sitting and crying. So all the people in the mela are coming to him and saying, what happened, what happened? And here, take the ice cream, don't cry. Here, take the toy, don't cry. But he's saying, no, I don't want the toy, I want my mother, I want that my mother. So as long as we are lost in the material world, Yanis, the mother is doing her own work. But the moment the child drops all the toys and says, calls out for mother, the mother leaves everything and comes to the child. And mother is everything, Tintin. Everything that you see right now, every experience that you're going through in life is done by mother. This is the path of bhakti. If you resonate with the bhakti marg, then it's beautiful to surrender to the divine mother. So for me, I have been carrying a picture that my guru gave me of mother for past 8 years now. I have the same laminated
Wow.
photograph. No matter where I go, what I do, um, I always, even if I go out to, let's say, if I'm going to a beautiful place by the river, I'll take mother and I'll show her, mother, see how beautiful. This is the a very beautiful path to come to your heart, to open your heart to all the experiences and feel them more fully, be more present.
Hmm.
Mm,
Wonderful.
yeah, it makes surrender more easy, and you can choose to worship the divine in any way. People think of divine as their son, as their beloved, as their friend, as their master. So you can choose to serve. If you are in the Bhakti Park, you have the option to choose any bhav that you resonate with the most. It's a
Who,
very deep topic.
okay.
Yeah,
Who do you believe is your divine?
my divine mother, my guru and mother. And Annapurna Ma, she's the one, she's holding the spoon. She's the one who feeds my soul. So
Okay.
the first thing I want to do when I open my eyes is look at her. So she's always there, and I want to look at her before I go to sleep. And
Okay.
yeah,
Hmm. Thank you.
thank you, Yanis. Yeah,
Okay, maybe we conclude with a short meditation, Aisha.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
There's one thing I want to say before we end is if there's one practice that I can talk about before, one practice which can be very beneficial, no matter where you are, how busy you are in your lives, you don't have time to meditate, is always be mindful of what is happening in your internal world. So every few hours, just take a moment to ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? It's called checking in.
Yes,
It's a very effective,
very powerful.
very powerful practice. And I always tell this to people to do it, and I've myself really benefited from it. So I really hope that you do too.
Yeah, no, one of my spiritual teachers actually suggested it to me. She said, set an alarm every hour and then take a couple of seconds just to like check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What are you doing? Is this what you really want to do? Everything. So it's a very, very powerful practice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It really helps us to disconnect, not identify with these ups and downs of life, and go beyond. Very beautiful practice.
Yeah, not just that, but also kind of be true to yourself and your feelings, right? Like, what is it that I'm actually feeling?
Yeah,
Like, am I doing what I really want to do? Like, just kind of, it encourages a lot of the inquiry and questioning.
yeah, yeah. So I really encourage this practice to myself also, you know to keep reminding myself that when I'm walking, walk, when I'm eating, eat. Beautiful small things in life, but they can make such a huge difference, such a big difference. Okay, so yeah, let's
Doing 100%. Yeah.
conclude with a short meditation now.
Yes. Thank you, Aisha. It was a lovely conversation.
All right, so sit comfortably, be in the most comfortable position you can, and it's better if you close your eyes. Keep a gentle smile on your face. Be aware of your contact where you're sitting on the chair. Be aware of your feet touching the ground. Feel your palms, the warmth, the vibration, the radiation on your hands. Feel your forearms and your shoulders. Don't think about it, but sense it, feel it, as if you have never ever seen it. And the only way you can feel your hands is by sensing it. Feel your feet. Welcome them. Feel their aliveness. Feel the sensation on your feet without even the slightest of effort. Let the sensation come to you. Feel your legs. Feel your trunk, your face. Feel your entire body. And whatever arises within it, whatever manifests, allow it very gently. Feel the front of your body, radiating into the space in front of it, merging into the space, as if there's no border. Feel the back of your body, the warmth, the radiation, merging into the space behind you. Open to the space on the right, and open to the space on your left. Feel the aliveness and the vibration of the entire body. Ask yourself, What is it to be alive in this moment? Feel your breath just the way it is, whether it's long or short, warm or cool, deep or shallow, without trying to change it in any way. Anchor your awareness on your breath. Feel a sense of peace and stillness in your entire body. Peace and stillness radiating in every cell of your body. And just for a few moments, abide in this stillness. Bring your awareness back to your body and very slowly and gently start moving your fingers and your toes. In your own time, whenever you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes. Yes.
Thank you, Aisha. That was lovely.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. It was really a pleasure for me.